If you're watching this right now, know that it is no coincidence. You summoned it. Your soul sent out a call, and the universe answered. What you're about to receive are 10 alchemical teachings hidden within the Emerald Tablet's ancient codes preserved by initiates across millennia, reaching you now, precisely when you are ready. But listen carefully. These teachings are not mere information, they are activations. If lately the world has begun to feel strange, if you sense you no longer fit into old patterns, if a restless energy inside you has been stirring, searching, awakening, it is because your cosmic power has been triggered. And when that happens, the universe reconfigures around you. Phrases strike you unexpectedly. Your dreams intensify. Certain people drift away. New ones arrive. And a video like this appears before you. This is no accident. This is an answer. You vibrated with the energy of seeking, and you received truth. You vibrated with doubt, and revelation found you. You vibrated with awakening, and the call reached you. Your frequency is your cosmic password, and right now, that password has unlocked a doorway. So, take a deep breath. Listen not with your ears, but with your heart, because what you are about to feel is not something new, it is an ancient memory reawakening inside you. This is wisdom that has survived the fall of civilizations, the burning of libraries, the weight of dogmas, and the silence of ages, and it now finds in you fertile ground. If a chill runs through you, or warmth floods your chest, if an unfamiliar yet profound emotion rises within you, do not dismiss it. Truth rarely arrives with clamor. It speaks through vibration. And right now, the universe looks upon you, recognizing you as an ancient traveler who has stirred once again. The mind that opens to a new truth never returns to its original state, said Hermes Trismegistus. What if I told you that even before the Bible, the Vedas, or the Quran, there existed an ancient code guarded so carefully that it withstood the collapse of empires, the infernos of forgotten libraries, and the silent persecution of those who sought to keep power out of the people's hands? This wisdom was not entrusted to fragile papyrus or scrolls vulnerable to time. It was carved into emerald, a stone revered by ancient civilizations as a symbol of eternity, clarity, and divine purity. Thus it came to be known as the Emerald Tablet. But who was the being behind this enduring legacy? Across the ages, he wore many names. In Egypt, he was Tahuti, the divine scribe; to the Greeks, Thoth; to the Romans, Hermes Trismegistus the thrice, great master of wisdom, alchemy, and divine science. Medieval alchemists honored him as the fountainhead of all esoteric knowledge. In the Americas, his spirit lived on through deities like Quetzalcoatl and Kukulkan. Yet names do not matter. What matters is that he was not merely a man, he was an advanced consciousness. An immortal master who descended to earth and just to leave behind a map for all who seek liberation from illusion. The Emerald Tablet is no ordinary text. It imposes no dogma, demands no hollow rituals, dictates no arbitrary moral codes. Instead, it reveals universal laws unchanging. Eternal laws rooted in the very structure of existence itself, laws that govern both the material and the invisible worlds. Beyond the visible world lies the invisible realm of the soul, and among the universal laws that govern both, perhaps the most famous and at the same time most misunderstood is the ancient principle, as above, so below. This phrase is not poetry. It is a vibrational code, a living truth, a principle of correspondence revealing that everything that happens in the vastness of the cosmos also happens within you. The macrocosm and the microcosm mirror each other. The sky you gaze upon is a reflection of your inner state. The movements of the planets, the phases of the moon, the tides of the oceans, all of them correspond directly with your emotional rhythms, your mental patterns, and the ebb and flow of your vital energy. Your life, with all its twists, turns, and choices, is not random. It is consciousness unfolding itself into form. And here is where true alchemy enters. For centuries, many believed that alchemy was merely the practice of turning base metals into gold, a quaint curiosity of medieval laboratories. But that was only ever a symbol. The real metal is the dense, conditioned, unconscious ego. The real gold is awakened consciousness, pure, sovereign, and intimately connected to the source. True alchemy is not the manipulation of the external world. It is the transmutation of the internal world. It is the sacred process of purifying the soul, of raising one's vibrational frequency, of transforming fear into love, ignorance into wisdom, chaos into inner harmony. And these profound teachings are not hidden in some distant place. They are inscribed, encoded, and safeguarded within the emerald tablet. It was never meant to be merely read. It was meant to be lived. Each line is a key, each principle a mirror, and when you begin to integrate these laws into your daily existence, you initiate your own inner alchemy, your personal process of sacred transmutation. For centuries, this knowledge was veiled, passed on only through oral traditions among the initiates, hidden in riddles, in symbols, in allegories, and often fiercely suppressed by religious and political authorities who feared the unstoppable force of an awakened being. For they knew a person who understands and lives these universal laws becomes truly free, and a free person cannot be controlled. Now, in this exact moment of your journey, you are being reconnected with this ancient knowledge not by chance, but because your inner frequency has called it forth. Later in this journey, we will explore the 10 main alchemical teachings drawn directly from the Emerald Tablet. Know this: they are not theories for intellectual debate. They are activation keys, designed not to be dissected by the mind alone, but absorbed by the heart and embodied through conscious living. Prepare yourself, because once you begin to embody these ancient teachings, something fundamental within you shifts. Your perception expands. The rigid image you held of yourself begins to fracture. You begin to see that the name, the face, the label society has placed upon you, none of it is the truth of who you are. The material world, so seemingly solid, is but a condensation of energy, a dream woven from denser frequencies. Your body, though tangible and real to the senses, is not your true self. It is an instrument, a sophisticated cosmic vessel allowing pure consciousness to experience life on this physical plane. The body is the chalice, but you are the water. You are the life force that fills and animates it. And when you truly grasp this, fear begins to dissolve. Death ceases to be an end. Suffering ceases to be punishment. Limitation ceases to be a prison. Everything becomes part of a grand soul experiment, a magnificent journey of discovery. Let me share a brief story to illuminate this further. In a distant kingdom, it is said, there lived a wise man who possessed a magical mirror. But it was not an ordinary mirror. It did not reflect faces or appearances. The mirror did not reflect the body, but the very essence of the soul. Whenever someone stood before it, they did not see their face or their clothes. They saw who they truly were. Some, astonished by the light that burned within them, left forever changed. Others, confronted with an emptiness where they had expected greatness, turned away in fear, unwilling to face what lay within. One day, a young peasant, his face smeared with dirt and clothed in simple garments, approached the mirror with innocent curiosity. When he gazed into it, he did not see his rough exterior. Instead, he saw a vibrant blue flame, intense and alive, pulsing with a force he could not comprehend. Overwhelmed, he asked the mirror, "Is this really me? Am I not this fragile body, this limited existence?" And though the mirror spoke no words, it answered through a feeling of vast, uncontainable sense of freedom. In that moment, the young man understood. He realized that his body was merely a costume, a temporary role in a grand, fleeting drama. His essence was something far greater, something infinite. His life did not change because he gained riches or fame. It changed because he stopped confusing himself with the illusion. And hidden within that simple fable lies one of the most profound truths. As long as you mistake yourself for the character, you will be trapped within the laws of matter, bound by fear, by limitation. But the instant you remember you are consciousness inhabiting a body, not the body itself, true alchemy begins. Alchemy, you see, is not about magic. It is about deep, irreversible transformation of the soul. As the fire of inner realization ignites within you, you may feel an even stronger yearning, a call from deep within to understand what is unfolding inside you. This process you are beginning to experience is not new. It is ancient. It is sacred. It has been passed in silence through countless generations of seekers who lived and walked this path long before you. And this process has always had a name, alchemy. But what is true alchemy? Beyond the myths and misconceptions, far removed from the fairy tales of solitary sorcerers hunched over boiling cauldrons, real alchemy is a spiritual science, an ancient art born from the union of philosophy, spirituality, and the careful observation of the natural world. It flourished along the banks of the Nile, in the sacred mystery schools of ancient Egypt, where priests and initiates studied not only the physical realm, but also the invisible laws that uphold all of creation. It was from that sacred source that the figure of Tahuti emerged, the master of wisdom whom the Greeks would call Hermes Trismegistus. The thrice great. He was the one who inscribed the immortal principles of the Emerald Tablet, one of the most enigmatic texts in human history. It is from this sacred text that true alchemy draws its purest teachings. Among its most renowned principles is one deceptively simple line: as above, so below. And within these few words lies a universe. They revealed that everything occurring in the higher spiritual realms manifests here in the physical plane. External alchemy and internal alchemy are not separate. In external alchemy, the ancient masters studied the transformation of elements, how metals moved through cycles of decomposition, purification, and crystallization. In internal alchemy, these same principles applied to the human soul. The dense, impure metal symbolized the ego, our fears, our vices, our attachments, and the radiant, incorruptible gold symbolized the divine essence awakening within us. The confusion between magic and alchemy arose because the transformations that true alchemists achieved seemed impossible to the outside world. Those who underwent spiritual transmutation often healed old wounds, awakened dormant abilities, and accessed states of consciousness far beyond ordinary human awareness. To the uninformed, it looked like sorcery, miracles, magic, but the alchemist knew otherwise. It was not magic. It was soul science, governed by laws as precise and universal as those that guide the stars across the heavens. True alchemy requires courage, for before you can transmute anything, you must first be willing to face what is dark within you. You must dive into the chaos of your own soul, confront the shadows, shatter the old patterns, and let die all that no longer holds truth. This is the first stage of alchemy, Negredo, the black work, the moment when the old self begins to dissolve. Only then can you move into the stages of purification, illumination, and reintegration. Each phase mirrors a profound step in the inner journey you are living through right now. So when you hear ancient tales of turning metal into gold, understand. It was never merely about transforming matter. It has always been about transforming the density of the soul into light, pain into wisdom, limitation into consciousness. Every step of this path is intricately woven into the teachings of the Emerald Tablet. It was not written for memorization, nor for idle admiration. It was inscribed to awaken. If these words stir something inside you now, it is because the fire of alchemy has already been lit within you, burning slowly, working in ways the conscious mind cannot fully grasp. As this alchemical flame continues to rise, something curious may begin to unfold. You may find yourself experiencing places you've never physically visited, yet they feel strangely familiar. You may meet people with whom you share an inexplicable connection. You may encounter situations that feel eerily repetitive, as though the script of your life had been written long before you were born. This is not fantasy, it is memory. Because time, as you were taught, is not a straight line with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Time is a spiral. Life does not march forward, it moves in ever-deepening cycles. Consciousness, the eternal part of you, journeys through these spirals like a traveler passing through portals of expansion. This is why experiences repeat. This is why emotions you thought you had conquered return with unexpected force. If you resist, the cycle recurs. If you awaken and understand the pattern, the spiral deepens and you ascend. The ancients knew this truth. In Egypt, in the East, among the Mayans, and within indigenous wisdom, time was seen as a living, breathing intelligence, not something you race against, but something that reveals and evolves you. The modern belief that you live only once is a recent distortion, born from a materialistic worldview seeking to deny the eternal nature of the soul. Across all sacred traditions, time was understood as an endless current. The soul reincarnates, learns, evolves, and returns, not repeating but deepening its mastery. And now, as you awaken to this reality, something undeniable begins to surface. You feel it, the places you once frequented no longer fit you. The conversations that once entertained you now feel hollow. Certain people drift away, their energy no longer resonating with yours. This is not arrogance, it is expansion. Your energetic field is growing, your vibrational frequency rising. What you are experiencing now is not random. It is the ancient echo of your true power stirring from within. Your cosmic power is being activated not by any external authority, not through any religious rite, but from the seed that has lived within you since before your birth. It has waited, hidden beneath layers of conditioning for this very moment, and the time has come. The restlessness, the hunger for truth, the yearning for something greater. These are not signs of emptiness, but of awakening. It is the call of your higher consciousness rising. Thoth, known also as Tahuti, the master who inscribed the eternal laws of the Emerald Tablet, declared it plainly. Just as I am God through my knowledge, you too shall be gods of the future through your knowing. This is not poetry, it is a living promise. A direct transmission across the ages to those whose inner fire has begun to burn anew. When a human being activates divine consciousness within, it is not an event marked by spectacle or drama. True awakening happens quietly, sometimes born in the heart of a crisis, other times emerging in the simplest, most ordinary moments. But when it happens, everything changes, because perception itself changes. You no longer see yourself as a character trapped within a story. You recognize yourself as the creator of the narrative. This cosmic power awakening within you does not take a single fixed form. For some, it emerges as sharp, piercing intuition. For others, it expands into boundless love. In others still, it ignites an unstoppable drive to serve, to teach, to transform the world around them. Each soul expresses this sacred force differently, but all who touch it share one truth: they can never again fall back asleep. Once you have felt the living force of your true nature, there is no returning to the illusion of a small, confined existence. This is the point of no return on the spiritual journey, the threshold where the soul steps fully into leadership. From this moment on, nothing will ever again feel superficial. And when this power pulses through you not as an abstract theory, but as a living truth vibrating in your chest, something extraordinary unfolds. You begin to attract answers. Dormant questions, ones buried deep within your unconscious for years, perhaps even lifetimes, begin to stir, to surface, to find their echo in the world around you. And that echo appears as teachings, not ordinary teachings, but vibrational codes, ancient keys designed to activate you the moment you hear them. If you have arrived at this point, it is because your frequency has ripened. Your soul is ready to receive. Here they are, the 10 alchemical teachings your soul has summoned. They are not designed to comfort your mind. They are meant to awaken your consciousness. First, consciousness precedes form. Everything visible was once invisible. Before the tree, there was the impulse. Before the word, there was the intention. Before the body, there was consciousness itself. You are not the effect of the physical world. You are the cause in motion. You are not merely a product of reality. You are the projector shaping it. And what you project depends on your vibration. If you vibrate from fear, fear will be reflected back. But if you root yourself in love, the entire universe will begin to align itself with that higher frequency. Second, inner fire transforms everything. This fire is not literal, but it is fiercely real. It is the energy at your center called Kundalini, Chi, or life force. It fuels your soul's journey, powers your will, awakens your sacred purpose. Yet this fire is not neutral. It must be directed. If ignored, it devours you in anxiety, anger, confusion. If channeled, it becomes your most faithful ally, burning away impurities and revealing the gold hidden within you, just as the alchemical fire purifies metals. Third, balance is the law of the universe. Nothing sustains itself in extremes. The cosmos itself organizes through rhythms, polarities, compensations, light and shadow, inhalation and exhalation, day and night. When you live in imbalance emotionally, mentally, energetically, the universe responds by bringing disruption, chaos, and correction. Neglect your body and it will cry out. Betray your soul and silence will suffocate you. But chaos is not punishment. It is a call back to balance. True balance is not stagnation. It is a sacred dance, the wisdom of knowing when to advance and when to yield, when to speak and when to be silent. Fourth, sound creates reality. Everything vibrates, and sound is one of the most immediate and powerful expressions of that vibration. Every vibration you emit carries a signature, and every word you speak leaves an imprint on reality itself. When you utter, "I can't," you are not merely stating a thought, you are crystallizing a limitation into your energetic field. When you say, "I can," you unlock doorways to new realities. The ancients knew this deeply. Their mantras were not meaningless repetitions, but precise vibrational formulas, carefully crafted to reprogram the subtle architecture of being. Even today, science is beginning to validate what the sages understood, that sound frequencies can shape matter itself. So, choose your words with the same reverence you would have when planting seeds in sacred ground. Speak only what you are willing to harvest. Light and shadow, seemingly opposites, are born from the same source. Duality is not an error, it is an essential design of existence. What we call good and evil are simply different gradients of the same emanation. Shadow is not the enemy of light, it is the absence of it. Often, it is in the depths of darkness that the most precious treasures lie hidden. To flee from your shadow is to abandon a part of yourself. But when you turn toward it, when you welcome what cries out for healing, you find that the shadow is not a curse but a portal, and passing through it, you emerge stronger and more whole. The body is not a silent witness, it is an instrument vibrating according to your emotions. Every unexpressed emotion, every unacknowledged sorrow, every looping thought pattern leaves its signature in your flesh. Modern medicine is slowly awakening to this truth, recognizing how emotions impact the immune system, hormones, even the very rhythm of the heart. Chronic sadness becomes a burden upon the shoulders. Suppressed anger inflames the gut. Anxiety robs sleep from the weary. Your body tells the stories your mind dares not speak. And listening to its subtle whispers is an essential part of the path. Knowledge alone does not transform, only embodied practice does. You can read, study, and listen endlessly, but until knowledge moves from mind to action, it remains inert. To know that fear paralyzes is one thing. To walk through fear with open eyes is another. Many collect spiritual quotations like treasures, yet live as if they were still asleep. True wisdom is not stored in the intellect. It lives in your vibration. It pulses in your gestures, your choices, your daily actions. Knowing the properties of fire will never warm you, you must enter the flame to feel its heat. The earth is not a backdrop. It is a living, breathing being, and you are a living thread woven into its fabric. You do not merely live on the earth, you live with it. In a constant sacred exchange, you breathe what it exhales. You feel what it vibrates. The illusion of separation is a modern sickness. Ancient peoples knew that trees felt, that stones remembered, that rivers whispered messages. When you walk barefoot on the earth, when you lose yourself in the rhythm of a sunset, when you move with the tides of nature, something ancient within you reawakens and healing arises, not from external intervention, but from re-entering the living symphony you were always at beats. The heart knows truths that the mind cannot comprehend. The mind dissects, the heart recognizes. The mind hesitates, the heart feels. How often have you silenced your intuition because it defied logic? How many times have you ignored the knowing that pulsed through you like a silent drumbeat? The heart is not merely emotional, it is a center of subtle intelligence. To learn to listen to it is to return to a way of living that aligns with peace, even when it challenges rational certainty. And the greatest illusion of all, the final veil, is the belief that you must become something you are not. The ego whispers that enlightenment is distant, that fulfillment is in the future, that truth is somewhere else. But the reality is far more extraordinary. Everything you seek already resides within you. You did not come here to chase something outside yourself. You came to remember what you already are. The entire spiritual journey is not a path to becoming, it is a sacred homecoming. And waiting for you there is not a new self, but your eternal self, quietly burning with the same ancient flame it has always carried. Within you, codes are stirring, awakening dormant layers of consciousness, and from this, an even deeper realization emerges. There is a hidden architecture that upholds the universe. And this architecture is not static, it is alive. The ancients spoke of the lords of dimensions, cosmic beings, divine entities, external forces perhaps, but what few understand is that these lords also dwell within you. They are not distant mythological figures hovering somewhere in the cosmos. They are archetypes, living aspects of your own higher consciousness. And as your inner awakening deepens, you begin to feel their presence not as distant legends, but as living forces guiding your journey from within. The three is the force of transformative darkness. He is the Lord of the inner night, the guardian of symbolic death, the one who compels you to stand before your own abyss, not to destroy you, but to purify you. He carves the necessary challenges that strip away illusion and birth you anew in the light. The four is the liberating light, the spark that reawakens when you are on the verge of forgetting. He shatters stagnant patterns, reignites expansion, and reminds you of your true, untamable nature. The nine stands beyond even these forces. It is the origin, the formless, silent source from which all things emerge and to which all things return. When you encounter the nine, you do not feel mere emotion, you feel pure truth, timeless and unshakable. These lords do not seek your worship. They do not demand devotion. They ask for something far more powerful: integration. True alchemy is the union of these forces within the darkness, the light, and the origin woven into a single living whole. And that whole is you. You do not need to travel distant paths to find them. They live in your breath, in your silence, in the stillness of meditation, in the furnace of your greatest crises, and in the flashes of clarity that pierce your ordinary days. They are always there, waiting for you to remember. And now, the veil is falling not with chaos or spectacle, but with quiet shifts in your perception. The world around you still appears the same, but you see it differently. What once seemed random now pulses with significance. A number that repeats, a dream that returns, a meeting that feels predestined. Every thread of your life begins to weave itself into a greater tapestry. This is not coincidence, it is ancient memory stirring. You are not learning something new. You are remembering what your soul has always known. You have been initiated before in another lifetime, another plane, another body. Your soul has walked these sacred halls. It has touched these codes. The activation of your cosmic power does not make you something other than yourself. It removes the veils that clouded your vision. Forgetting was part of the game. Remembering is the return home. And now that you are remembering, The words of Tahuti ring clearer than ever. Grow in light, and you shall be gods before the people of tomorrow. This is not a promise. It is a direction. You are not the final point. You are the bridge between what was and what is yet to be. Before you go, pay close attention. In the first pinned comment below, you will find access to the Kabbalion, a profound manual of consciousness, drawn directly from the ancient wisdom of the Emerald Tablet. It will help you deepen your understanding of everything that has begun to awaken within you. And if you feel called to support this channel and help this sacred knowledge reach others who need it, a direct link has also been left there for you. Your support is not just appreciated, it makes all the difference. I will see you again in the next video.